This one's for Jeremiah. He's the one who reminded me that I haven't done a video yet about pirates off the north coast of Africa, which I did say I would do at the beginning of this series. And Jeremiah, this may not be as exciting as it sounds from what I said at the beginning, but here it goes. So basically, this is really a story about how having a clarity of focus and being really super clear on what your main target is makes decision making just so much easier. And so I'm going to just make this pretty short, but we were sailing from the Canary Islands. We were trying to get to the Caribbean, and so we were heading south from the Canary Islands to try and find the trade winds going west that would bring us over to St. Lucia, and we had to go actually quite far south to find those winds. We found ourselves not far off the coast of Africa, and so I was on a late shift, a midnight shift as far as I remember. So I'd gone to bed for a while after dinner, and my crew had been up chatting, and I'd left them there. And when I got up to take my shift, there was a little bit of commotion on the boat, and what had been happening while I was away was that we had spotted a boat on our radar, and we were on a collision course with it, but that's fine, you know. That wasn't a big deal. We had plenty of space. But as we were watching them on the radar, and as we were getting closer and closer, my crew realized there was something a little bit odd about this boat, and what they thought that possibly there was somebody in trouble, because the boat was not showing correct navigation lights. It wasn't moving like we would have expected a boat to move. And so as that boat was getting closer to us, we were getting closer to it, and they just wanted to figure out what was going on, so they got closer and closer to the boat. So they were so close that they started making radio contact at first in different languages. There were flash lights at them. They were even possibly close enough to probably shouting at them at one stage. It was a dark night, but it was a very calm night, and that's where the stage we were at when I woke up. And so when I came out and they explained to me what had happened, immediately my clarity of focus and what I was trying to achieve came into play, and I made an immediate decision there and then. So I knew that possibly there could have been somebody in trouble there, and I would never want to leave somebody in trouble, but I had to assess the risks immediately. And for me, my overall goal and what it looked like to everybody from the outside was the goal is to get across the Atlantic, right? That was what you would think the goal was, but really I had real clarity that my primary goal was the safety of my crew, and secondary was the safety of the vessel. And so that clicked into place straight away for me. And once I realized that there was a possibility that this was a vessel that wanted to do us harm, immediately we turned off all lights, we turned off all the automatic radar reflectors, we turned on our engine, we shut even the internal lights down on the boat, and we immediately just turned around and drove about 60 or 70 miles away from that vessel. And my crew questioned me on this because they didn't understand, and I just wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. And I didn't have time to discuss it with them at the time, just get out of there and then we can talk about it later. But when I explained to them, then they understood, because I had that clarity of focus. I knew exactly what I needed to do at that point in time, and I didn't have to think about making that decision, because the first thing that came to my mind is this safe for me and my crew? And if not, let's get out of here. And so that's what it was. So maybe they weren't pirates, but there was definitely something odd going on there, and I just didn't want to really hang around and find out. So that's it for today. Talk to you soon, guys.